Hi everyone, welcome back or welcome in if you are new to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today is the start of a new DIY bridal makeup series on my channel. And I am so excited for this series because I am currently engaged and I'm kind of exploring what I want to do with my own makeup on my wedding day. Today's look is really classic bridal. It's got the pink lip, the pink cheek, and the neutral eye, as well as some false lashes tacked on there for a little extra drama. But if this look isn't quite your cup of tea, stick around because I will be doing some videos in the future of more glam looks, some boho, fall vibes. I'm hoping to do a really natural look for brides who don't typically wear makeup or don't like to be quite that done up or are maybe having a more casual ceremony. So stick around even if this look isn't quite your style, and keep an eye out for future bridal DIY videos. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started right away this week with my eyeshadow. I don't always do that, but my reasoning here is that on a day, especially like your wedding day, you're gonna be on a timeline. And if you happen to mess up your eyeshadow or eyeliner, you may not have time to take all of your makeup off your whole face and start fresh. So I always recommend to start with the most difficult part first. So start with your eyeshadow and eyeliner, and that way if you make any mistakes and you need to restart, you won't be starting from scratch. You also, if you have any fallout along your cheeks from any glitter shadows or anything that you might use, you can wipe that off before going in with your complexion products. And I am using the Going Coconuts palette from ColourPop. I don't want to tip it too much because my top shadow here is actually falling out of the pan from shipping issues. So this palette is great. It's just a neutral tone brown palette. So if you already have a palette with similar tones, don't feel that you have to go out and buy this exact palette to follow along. I'll just point you in the direction of sort of the shades you're looking for as we go. I'm gonna go ahead and dip into either this shade or this top shade here. Any nice transition shade for your skin tone will work perfect here. So I'm gonna actually take a combination of the two of Culotta and Lovely Bunch. And I'm just taking this on a Morphe M433 brush. Any brush about this size will work great. And I'm gonna start blending that just into my crease. So I blend up in my crease and a little bit above as well and out to the side. So you're really going to be creating the shape for your eyeshadow here. Go back if you want it to be a little deeper. And I'm happy with that as just a starting base for my eyeshadow. So I'm actually going to go ahead and switch brushes to something a little smaller. I just have this brush. I don't even know what brand it is. It's just kind of a small pointed tip brush. And I'm gonna dip into the darkest matte brown shade in the palette. In this case, if you have this exact palette, I'm using the shade Nutty. And I'm gonna go ahead and just get some of that on the tip of the brush, and then I tapped off the excess because since this is a darker shade, I don't want to go in too harsh or too intense with this. And I'm going to just start building that up on the outer corner of my eye. So I basically start at where the crease of my eye starts, and I drag in about halfway, and then I'm going to drag a little bit up just to have it blend a tiny bit into my crease. And then I go back in with that first brush I used. I didn't put any extra product on there. And I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this out a little bit so that there are no harsh lines. I really want it to look romantic and soft. There are no harsh lines anywhere, and I've just kind of got the two shades that we've used blended. And to be honest, that's all I'm gonna do for these matte shades right now. I am going to take just the slightest shade up at the top. It's a matte ivory, and I'm gonna take it on my finger, and I'm gonna go ahead and just place that in this inner corner because I am going to put a shimmer shadow on my lid there, and I want it to really pop. So I wanna give it a nice base. And again, just taking the same brush, no extra product, I'm kind of buffing this out just a little bit so there, again, are no harsh lines. So that's all I'm gonna do for the matte shades. I am gonna go ahead and get this eye matched up, and then I'll be right back. So now that I've got all those matte shadows down on both sides of my eyes, I want to point out that this can be a great place to stop. If you don't like shimmer on your lids or you want an extra natural vibe, this can be a great place to stop, and then you can just move on to the eyeliner, which I'll show in a little bit. But I know a lot of brides do want that shimmer and that sparkle on their wedding day, so I'm gonna go ahead and just up the ante with just one more shadow. So this shade here in the middle of the palette, or any mid-tone shimmery shade, is a beautiful option for bridal makeup. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna dip my finger straight into that pan, get just a little bit on my finger because I can always build it up later. So I'm gonna start with small layers, and I'm gonna cover just the part that I've covered in the ivory shadow here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pick up a little bit on my finger like this, and then I go and just tap it. Just right over top of that middle part of my eye. So you'll see here that it did fall out a little bit. So this is exactly why I'm saying let's start with our eyes and do our face afterwards, so that I can wipe that off, clean it up, make sure we're good to go before moving on. All right, so I went ahead and added that shimmer to this eye as well. And then I just wanna remind you again to always just blend, blend, blend. So taking this same brush I've been using the whole time and just kind of running that a little bit along the very edge where the matte and the shimmer shades meet to make sure that there are no harsh lines there at all. So as soon as we're done with eyeshadow, I'm actually gonna go ahead and add eyeliner and mascara just in order to keep that shimmer glitter shade from falling down on my cheeks anymore. So today I am using the L'Oreal Infallible Longwear eyeliner. You can really use any brown eyeliner you want here. I would just recommend going with something waterproof because it will come off if you cry on your wedding day. I'm gonna go ahead and just sit a little closer to the camera so that you can see what I'm doing, but I'm not gonna talk because I really have to focus when I'm doing my eyeliner. I did want to show you just how it looks with just kind of a nice natural brown line. I don't do anything crazy, and I'm not super particular about how that line looks because in this next step, we're actually gonna smudge it out a little bit. So I'm back to the same palette I was using before and going back into that deep brown shade, and I'm getting it on just this tiny little brush on the very, very tip of that brush. And I'm tapping off the excess again, and then I'm coming in and I'm just smudging it right along that eyeliner line that I just created. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply mascara off camera. I'm also gonna be applying my lashes off camera later in this look, and I do have a video that recently went up, I think earlier this week, that is a mascara and false lash overview. So I'll link that down below. If you do wanna see me actually walk through either of these steps, you can go ahead and watch that video. All right, so I went ahead and applied just a really light coat of that mascara on both of my eyes. I did not do 2 coats or 3 coats like I usually would. I just used a waterproof mascara and went through with 1 coat. All I need this mascara for is to just turn my blonde lashes black so that they match the false lashes. I don't need my mascara to add any drama or volume or length because the false lashes are gonna do that for me later on in this look. So all I did was that light layer, and now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wipe away all of this glittery fallout from the eyeshadow below my eyes, and we'll move into the complexion. All right, I am back from cleaning up my face. So I got all that glitter off from underneath of my eyes. And I also just sharpened these edges a bit so that I didn't have too much bleed over with my eyeshadow. And I'm gonna go ahead now and move into complexion. So on a normal day, I would not use a primer on my face. I just usually don't need my makeup to last that long. I don't need all my pores to look smooth. But on my wedding day, I think it's worth taking that one extra step and adding a primer beneath your foundation. So one of my favorites is the NYX Angel Veil. I just go ahead and I put it on my fingers and I just rub this straight in with my fingers, only on the parts of my face where I want my pores minimized. So this primer is really specifically for smoothing out skin texture. And so I put a little on my forehead where I have a couple lines and just some bigger pores. And then I also take it right down the middle of my face where I tend to have larger pores as well. I'm gonna go ahead and move into foundation. And my biggest recommendation for brides on their wedding day is to pick at most a medium coverage foundation. You really don't need something thick and full coverage. The better approach is to have a low or medium coverage product and go ahead and add a layer or two to the parts of your face where you need more coverage. But that'll lend a more natural glowing look to your overall face on the day of your wedding. So two of my favorite products for that level of coverage, as well as for their staying power throughout the whole day, are the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Foundation. But unfortunately, I heard that this is going to be discontinued. So this is great. If you can pick it up, go for it. But if it's already discontinued by the time you're watching this video, a close second for me is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation. Again, it's that medium coverage level that you want, and it's gonna stick around all day. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Urban Decay today just because I wanna use this up before it does get discontinued. So my shade is in 3.5. I usually have to do about 1.5 pumps with this particular foundation. And then I'm just taking a flat blending brush from e.l.f. and I'm gonna first dab this kind of all over my face. I'm gonna put some down my neck as well, because particularly on your wedding day, you don't want to have your neck and your face not match. Especially if you have been tanning at all, you're gonna wanna make sure you drag it down your neck. So I just go ahead and buff this in with blending motions. All right, and then I do have a little extra redness on my skin today, so this is what I'm saying is a perfect place for a second coat. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do a half pump here of my foundation. I'm gonna really target these spots where I feel I haven't gotten enough coverage the first time around, and I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that in. So once I've done my foundation, I'm gonna go ahead and move straight into concealer. Today I'm using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and I go ahead and just really highlight this inner corner, and then I do one dab and one dab here. Again, the same rule applies with the concealer as it does for the foundation. You don't want to overdo it. You can always add another layer. So start small and go from there. And my favorite concealer brush is actually a setting brush from Real Techniques. So it just looks like this. It comes in a little set. And I think this is just great. It can get into this little corner of your eye really nicely. And then it helps you blend all along small edges like this underneath of your eye. Okay, so now that that concealer is blended in underneath both eyes, I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eye area as well as my T-zone on my face. So I'm going in with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. I am in shade 10 Fair Light. And I go in with this nice fluffy brush. Mine is from Sephora. You can really get these anywhere. And I'm just gonna pick a little up on my brush. And then I'm gonna twirl that in the jar so that, again, I don't get too much product all at once. So one of the key tricks for makeup longevity for days like your wedding, for example, are to layer cream and powder products. So I'm gonna do that today with my bronzer. I'm gonna go ahead and go in first with this Milk Makeup bronzing stick, and this is the matte bronzer in the shade Baked. And this little guy is awesome. So I actually have the small sampler size. The big one is enormous. But it's perfect. It's a really dry formula, so it will stick to your face really nicely. So I just go just here right underneath of my cheekbones naturally. I go a little bit down the side of my nose. I go along my forehead, right by my hairline, just a little bit. And then I go along the edge of my neck as well. And for this, I just use kind of any sort of dense brush and I blend upward onto my cheek. And remember, we're gonna be doing another bronzer step, so don't feel like this has to be completely flawless. It's just a starting spot. So I blend back into my hairline and then up onto my cheek. And then for up on my hairline, I blend backward into my hair. Perfect, so one layer of bronzer down, and now I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to my powder bronzer. And today I'm using the Ulta Beauty matte bronzer. I believe this guy's been discontinued in this exact packaging, but they have another one that looks almost identical. So I'll link that one down below. So I just swirl my brush in there, tap off the excess, and same exact motions, up and onto my cheeks. I don't want to drag it down too much because I want that chiseled look for nice photos. As for blush, I am using this set from Milani, and I love these two mixed together on my skin tone. So I'm just dipping into both equal amounts, tapping off the excess from my brush, and placing that on the back half of my cheeks. All right, so all of this powder that we've put on our face does make you look a little flat, a little matte, maybe a little dull even. And so I like to always go back in with a highlighter after all of those steps. So today I'm using the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. I think this is a perfect highlighter for brides who want a more natural glowing look on their wedding day. And it's a baked formula, so it'll last you forever if you buy this one highlighter. And I just go ahead and put it on the high points of my face to get a little bit of that natural glow back after so many powder products. All right, so now that highlighter is done, my complexion is feeling great. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my brows off camera, and I'll be right back. All right, I am back with my eyebrows done, but I did just want to give an honorable mention to the two products I used for my brows. So first I started with the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil, and this thing is amazing, and it's only $2, and it comes with a spoolie on the other end to brush through your brows. And then I also used the NYX Control Freak Clear Brow Gel. This bottle is like $5, and this thing will last you so long. And on your wedding day or other special event day where you know you need your makeup to last a long time, having a combination of a pencil and a gel will make a huge difference in the staying power of your brows. All right, before we do lips, I'm gonna finish up the eyes fully here. So I'm just gonna go back in with this same brush I was using earlier. I'm gonna pinch the tip of it, and I'm gonna run that underneath of my eye with the same shade that I started with in the crease. So that nice, light, neutral color, just right along the bottom of my eye here, to tie everything together and to really make your eyes pop in photos. Perfect. And then I'm taking that same very small brush that I used to go over my eyeliner earlier and dipping into that dark brown again, tapping off the extra because it is a dark, dark brown. And then I'm just gonna go right along my lash line, right on the outside edge here. All right, I went ahead and matched up the shadow on both eyes, and then I also added a light coat of mascara to my bottom lashes on both eyes. So I always recommend on a day when you need your makeup to last to use a setting spray. And specifically, I recommend the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. This stuff is just amazing, and it really truly makes a huge difference in how long my makeup lasts. So I just go ahead and I spritz this all over my face. I do about 4 pumps maybe or so, and then I let it soak in a little bit, and then I go over my whole face with a sponge. So the only last steps here I have are to put on false lashes and to do my lips. So I'm gonna go ahead and do false lashes off camera. Like I said earlier, I have a video and I'll link it down below of mascara and fake lash overview as well as how to apply false lashes. So I'll link that below if you're curious to watch that video. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna go ahead and just do it off camera. All right, I'm back. Lashes are on. The eye look is complete. The complexion's complete. All I need to do are lips. And today I have a really classic lip combo for you for this very classic bridal look. So one of my favorite lip liners of all time is the NYX Slim Lip Pencil in the shade Nude Pink. So I always just go ahead and line my lips very lightly and then kind of smudge it in so that it's not too obvious of a line, but it'll help with the longevity of my lipstick. Okay, and then for lipstick today, I am using my all-time favorite lip color for bridal looks, Modesty by MAC. I just think it's such a perfect, flawless pink tone for anyone who's my skin tone or a little bit lighter. And then I do recommend to most brides that they have a gloss with them to touch up throughout the night and to add a little shine for photos. So even if you don't want to wear a gloss for that first kiss, it's nice to have with you. And two of my favorites are the NYX Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee and the Milani Keep It Full Plumping Lip Gloss in Pink Quartz. So these are two of my favorites if you want some glitter reflex in there for maybe later in the night. I really love the Rose Quartz. But the NYX is also a classic and it just adds a little something special on top of this lip combo. So I'm going to use that today. All right, and this is the final look. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, subscribe, and like down below if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. Thank you.